going to come to bear here.
Hey, Steve, can I just push back just a little bit?
Yes.
So
sure.
I believe watching what Trump has done over the last year to set up the coalition in the Middle East and everything he's done with China to get China basically out of the way for this, Trump knew what he was going to do. I think he's already been building up the stockpiles. You know, he truthed out yesterday, and it caused some problems because he said we have munitions that could last forever. That was his truth. This is Reuters. Reuters would want to put this story out that, the defense contractors are running to the White House. We're going to be out of ammunition. This is going to be a terrible war. I don't believe Reuters. I believe Trump may be meeting with executives, but I don't believe this nonsense that we're out of munitions. I think Trump has spent the last year building up a stockpile.
I'm just going to quote it. The Trump administration plans to meet with executives from the biggest U.S. defense contractors at the White House on Friday to discuss accelerating weapons production as the Pentagon works to replenish supplies after strikes in Iran and several other recent military efforts. 5 people familiar with the plan told Reuters. Look, don't get me wrong. He's been doing what he can, but as Natalie walked through today, and Poso just did, the defense industrial base hasn't caught up with that. I mean, it's in the beginning stages of his turnaround of our defense industrial base to meet demand. But we have, if you look at what we've done over the last year as far as these wars go, I mean, you've got this massive war in Ukraine, you've had a massive war in Gaza, and now you've got a massive campaign in Iran. That's just going to do some drawdowns. I agree with you. Go ahead.
Just be careful, because the media is going to want you to believe that the American military is now somehow running out of its oomph and we're going to be in trouble and no munitions. I agree we've been stretched thin. I do.
But Stench, this was it's a open secret in the Pentagon that Raising Cane and others were about this whole effort were saying, hey, hang over a second. What do we actually have here and what are we doing? I mean, 5 people familiar with this have put this out. I'm not saying this was ill-planned, but the fact are you're using a lot of ammunition to do this, and we've already given. Look at this is why Posobiec and I were so down on this Ukraine situation.
Well, and
because the simple fact that go ahead.
And just one factor, if I could add, is that I think one of the pieces that has been added to this is that Iran is the one that expanded the chessboard into not just U.S. bases, but into our Gulf partners as well. So that means it's not just the U.S. bases that they need to support the defense for. It's also going to be all those bases around. You're looking at Qatar. You're looking at Jebel Ali down in the UAE. You're looking at Dubai. You're looking at Bahrain as well, writ large, as well as Riyadh. And they're taking hits as well. The U.S. Embassy in Riyadh, one of the CIA stations, just got hit there. So they're using everything they can to really pound these air defense systems that may have been. Look, they just need to be backfilled. There's no question.
Stench,
Steve, how quick can that happen?
Yeah. Oh, it takes. I think you got to ramp. I mean, I think it takes a while to ramp this stuff up. They've been trying to go as much full production 24/7, Jack, haven't they? Since we knew we had these problems with Ukraine. I mean, the Ukraine war in Biden's last 2 years, I mean, we just fed into the Ukraine nonstop, Jack. Isn't that the thing that really got us behind the 8 ball here?
Well, that was the initial precursor for it, yes, and that of course started under Biden, not under President Trump. That war probably wouldn't have even started if President Trump had been there in office. But yes, that's what really got the ball rolling, and that was the last time that they were talking about potentially moving some of these THAAD systems, these high altitude air defense systems from the South Korean peninsula over to the Middle East, or excuse me, the European theater, and now potentially down to the Middle East theater.
Can I just add something here, Steve, real quick? I mean, we're doing election night tonight. Dan Crenshaw went down. I mean, this is why it's important Dan Crenshaw went down. When Donald Trump's trying to negotiate an end to the war in Eastern Europe, you had people like Dan Crenshaw who are all for this. This is what they do in Congress. This is their business, right? So this is why it's important that, voters, Crenshaw's a scout, but the voters keep doing this, because when the president is out there trying to negotiate an end from this, there's constant pressure from these rhinos on Capitol Hill to keep these missiles flying. And this is the end result of that. I mean, there's got to be realistic about what we can do around the world.
Hang on.
Some of these representatives are not.
Ken Paxton's taking the stage right now. Let's go ahead and cut to the stage and Ken Paxton for his comments.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Attorney General and the next United States Senator for Texas, Ken Paxton!
Well, you know, John Cornyn said he was concerned about a bunch of radicals who were going to show up to vote today. It looks like you all showed up. I want to start by thanking my kids, my grandchildren for their constant love and support. I think I speak for every parent and grandparent in this room when I say this. Our children and their future are what we are fighting for every single day. For us, this is about saving America for the next generation. I want to take a moment to thank you all and every supporter across the state who has taken the time to volunteer, to vote, to get involved in this critical fight. And thank you to the Paxton Patriots for dedicating your time and your resources to support this effort and help us get our message out all across Texas.
Yeah, baby!
Together with your support, we just sent a message loud and clear to Washington. We are not going to go quietly.
Yeah!
And we are not going to let you buy the seat.
No way!
I want to tell you the last time I felt this kind of energy in one room, I was actually at Mar-a-Lago when President Trump announced he was running again in 2024. I don't know if you remember, but it was right after the midterms and everyone was turning on the president. The establishment, the media, and most Republican elected officials in America were lining up against him. Not me. I was proud to fly to Mar-a-Lago and be one of the only elected officials in America, along with my good friend Congressman Troy Nehls, who stood with the president the night he announced his campaign. Troy and I, along with everyone else there, knew something special was happening that night.
Yeah.
And we were right. Right now, I feel that same momentum, the same sense that history is turning. Now let's talk about what happened, what just happened. John Cornyn spent around $100 million trying to buy this seat.
Yeah, baby!
We've spent around $5 million. It was confirmed today that he received the most ad support for an incumbent in a single primary in U.S. history.
Wow!
But we proved something they'll never understand in Washington. Texas is not for sale. As votes continue to be counted, it looks like we're headed to a runoff. And that's because of you. The people of Texas made your voices heard. After all the personal attacks, which there were many, and after all the lies, you listened to what John Cornyn was selling, and you weren't buying it.
Yeah!
Nearly 60% of Texas voters who have known Cornyn for over 40 years, after hearing $100 million worth of ads, chose to vote against the incumbent. That's historic.
Yes!
Tonight, change was on the ballot, and change won. Texans want new leadership. They want someone with a proven record of fighting and winning for them. And that's exactly what I'm going to deliver. Because for too long, John Cornyn has turned his back on us. For too long, he attacked the border wall by calling it naive and pushed amnesty while our country was being invaded. For too long, he stabbed our president in the back by trying to derail his presidential campaigns and supporting the Democrats' lawfare against the president. And for too long, he sold us out to Democrats, even siding with Joe Biden to push the worst gun control bill in decades. Those days are coming to an end. And now, as we head into this runoff, we're going to make the choice even clearer. While John Cornyn was cutting deals on gun control and amnesty, I was suing corrupt Joe Biden over 107 times. 107 times. And we didn't just file lawsuits, we won massive victories for our freedoms, for our border security, and for our Constitution. That's the contrast. When he compromised, we fought. It's not about personal attacks, it's about what your record of delivering for the people of Texas is. And on that front, John Cornyn has failed us time and time again. I've traveled the state asking one simple question. I've done this since day one, every group I've been in front of. In his over 40 years of office, you cannot name one single accomplishment that he's done to help the state of Texas. 40 years. And without fail, everywhere I go, no one has an answer. No one can name that accomplishment. The people of Texas deserve better. That's the message we're taking into the runoff. I think you all might remember the last time a U.S. Senate race went to a runoff in Texas. It was 2012. A political outsider, not well known at the time, by the name of Ted Cruz, took on the establishment giant. No one said he could do it. And after getting second place in the initial primary, patriotic Texans showed up in the runoff. And you know what happened? Ted, some smart people in the audience. Ted Cruz performed over 22 points better and won the runoff in a resounding victory. The same thing is going to happen here. I've been in 2 statewide runoffs as Attorney General, and I've never won by less than 30 points, and I don't plan on starting now. The victory we're going to secure in this runoff will be even sweeter than the last ones. Now, John Cornyn is going to try to steal the election with another $100 million going into this Senate race. But here's what we proved tonight. While the money may be on his side, the people are on our side. And in Texas, the people always win. As we reflect on this election, I want to take a moment to thank Wesley Hunt for being in this race. Wesley served our country honorably in uniform. And I have no doubt he ran because he loves Texas and he wanted to continue serving our state. And let me say this to everyone who voted. Whether you voted for me, for Wesley, or even John, I'm going to fight to earn your support. Whether you were my strongest ally or you donated to fund the attacks against me, I want you to know that I'm going to fight every day to earn your support, because this is going to be the #1 Senate race in America targeted by the Democrats. We cannot let them take it. Our party is a big tent. We don't agree on everything, but we agree on the most important thing. We must defeat the Democrats in November. I want you on this team because this campaign is bigger than one person. It's about the future of Texas and the future of our great country, America. As Attorney General, I've won 3 elections, and I've won those general elections because I've focused on uniting our party. We still have an important runoff ahead, no doubt, but I think everyone in this room, everyone in Texas, and everyone in Washington knows where this is headed. I will be the Republican nominee, and we must stay focused. Because the Democrats have never been more radical, they've never been more unhinged. We've got James Tallarico, a far-left radical who wants to abolish ICE, says God is non-binary, I'm not even sure I know what that means, and thinks Christians are commanded to put boys in girls' sports. He will do nothing more than be a puppet for Chuck Schumer and the National Democrats. That's what we're up against. So we must stay focused, we must stay united, and we must be ready to send a second conservative senator to Washington. Ted Cruz has been a champion for Texas. He's recommended strong judges and defended our freedoms. He's fought for us every single day in the Senate. And I think it's time we send him and President Trump some reinforcements. And I'm running to do just that. I want to help confirm strong constitutional conservative judges who will defend our rights, not undermine them. I want to help make America healthy again by taking on big food and big pharma, just like I've done as Attorney General. I want to lower costs for you and your family by cutting fraud and the wasteful spending that's driving inflation. I want to stand shoulder to shoulder with our brave men and women in uniform at this critical moment in our nation's history. I want to go to the Senate to fight for you every single day. So let's finish this, Texas. We have 3 months to push forward, to grow this movement, to bring more people into this campaign before we get to the general election. Please knock on doors, make the calls, help your neighbors, your friends, your coworkers. Get involved in the movement to take this seat back from the swamp and return it to the people of Texas. Yeah. This is our moment. And I cannot thank you enough for your prayers, for your hard work, for your vote, and for your belief in me. God bless you. God bless this great state of Texas, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you all very much.
Let's go to Ben Berquam. We're going to wrap up tonight. Ben Berquam, your closing thoughts. You're there at the campaign headquarters.
It's real simple, Steve. Every day you wake up is the day to fight for America. Every single day from this day forward is that day, and the fight's just beginning out here in Texas.
Thank you, brother. Where do people go on your social media?
At Ben Berquam, my personal, and Real America's Voice, at Real AM Voice. Substack is Frontline America, frontlineamerica.com, and frontlineamericafoundation.org.
Thank you, sir. Stinch, your overview of what happened tonight, and where do we go from here?
I think it was a great day for MAGA in Texas. So many MAGA candidates. Grassroots showed up in this state, and I'm proud to be a Texan. And congratulations to Ken Paxton. This is big. I think he'll be victorious in the runoff. Now, as we've all said tonight, we got to work hard for this. We got to show up because Texas has to be defended 100%, Steve.
3-month-long grind. May 26th is election day in the runoff. Grant, thank you so much for riding shotgun tonight. It was great, a lot of fun, and very insightful. Thank you, brother.
Hey, Steve, let me just say to you, what an honor to be next to you this whole night and the rest of the crew. Everybody here, awesome time. Thank you for having me.
Good. It was a great time. Cliff Maloney, you guys are gonna be knocking on a lot of doors with not much money and up against $100 million. You got 90 days to deliver, sir.
Yeah, Steve, look, as Charlie would say, we got to do the work. Folks can go to doorswinwars.com. That's my ask to the whole War Room posse. Tonight, a message was sent to the Republican establishment, but it's up to us to get the job done. Folks can check me out on X at Maloney. Steve, you're a patriot. Appreciate you putting this together. Let's go win.
No, amazing. Great. Jack Posobiec, I want your thoughts tonight. Also, they just announced 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, there's going to be another press briefing with the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. It looks like General Raisin Kane again. Do you think we're going to get more of a Norman Schwarzkopf type? We're going to be looking at grainy photos and gun cameras as we've all been waiting to do?
Well, Steve, I certainly hope so. And I watched the CENTCOM briefing earlier tonight as well. We got some more information out of there. But again, we haven't had that operational level brief that Schwarzkopf would have given. I heard about the press conference a while ago, so we've rogered up. So Human Events will have reporters in the room when this takes place. And so we'll, of course, be reporting on it completely. Also just, as they say, monitoring the situation from here, from the Human Events watch floor. And we're seeing Israel's taking incoming right now. Looks like the District of Israel itself is, the District of Jerusalem within Israel is taking some direct impacts as we speak tonight. So the holy city being struck in day, I guess we're in day 4 here of this thing.
Lessons learned in Texas tonight, Jack Posobiec.
Indeed. Well, look, Dan Crenshaw going down as an incumbent, this is huge. This is a big deal. And people need to look at that. People need to look at his record when it comes to war. People need to look at his record as it pertains to staying close to the president, supporting the president's agenda. And there were a number of people who came out, on different sides of this thing. We saw Tucker Carlson did a big interview with Toth. We also saw Ted Cruz come up and come in big support of Toth. So he's got Tucker and Ted Cruz on the same side. They said it couldn't be done. And really putting in a lot of this. And at the end of the day, I'm just going to keep bringing it back, and Turning Point Action as well, of course, obviously. But I want to bring it back to just you have to stay true to your district. You have to stay true to your district, regardless of what happens in Washington, D.C. And this is what happens in these types of primaries.
Jack Posobiec, where do people go on social media? Because you are following this war very closely and putting up great material all the time. Where do folks go?
We're up at Jack Posobiec. The podcast is Human Events Daily. Check it out. We did special coverage this weekend. We were the first place to tell you when the strikes would happen, when they would occur. We told you what it would look like going into it, and we're riding with you all the way through to the bitter end of this thing. It is your one-stop shop, Human Events Daily.
Thank you, Jax. So important. Thank you for spending so much time with us, and I appreciate it. 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, Eastern Standard Time, Real America's Voice will be covering that press conference from the Pentagon. We'll have David Zier and our Pentagon people there. I want to thank, once again, 95% for Proposition 10. I want to thank everybody, Jenny Story, Glenn Story, Debbie Chigordis, Frank Gaffney, Karen Siegman, everybody. We're going to leave you. We'll be back in the Worm at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. I want to thank Real America's Voice. We're now going to leave you with my favorite takeout song, War Room, Texas. See you tomorrow morning.
What makes a man leave bed and board and turn his back on home? Right away. Right away. Right away.
Is universally unpopular here in America. But what do? They use fear to control you, to manipulate you into thinking that we are under threat from Iran, when in reality, Iran doesn't have the capabilities to bomb anybody in America. They do have the capabilities to bomb Israel. We've seen that over and over again. And I would think that if Israel and the leaders there, Benjamin Netanyahu, cared about his citizens, he wouldn't want them to have to constantly run to bomb shelters every 20 minutes because they are under the threat of attack from Iran, unless they thought that this is just collateral damage in a much bigger war, a war of attrition, where they want their biggest enemy to lose as much military equipment as possible, which will make them the king superpower of the Middle East. So I want to play this clip. This is just a clip of Iranian cluster missiles over Tel Aviv. Pretty shocking to watch. And this is a real clip. This is allegedly not AI, which there's so many AI videos where it's hard to decipher what's real and what's fake. But this video is real. And well, that's kind of funny. This video is real. But listen, I don't want to get on that tangent. What I do want to say is, I feel like if the leaders of Israel actually cared about their citizens, they would be pacifists instead of aggressors. And things like this wouldn't happen. That's pretty shocking footage. Just seeing ballistic missiles rain down on Israel. I don't want any of my Jewish brothers and sisters to get killed or injured or hurt. But we've already lost 6 service members for the United States military, and it looks like there's going to be more casualties in Israel because this is part of some greater plan that we're not really sure of, because they tell us the objectives are clear. But if those objectives were clear to stop a foreign country from having nuclear capabilities, then why won't Naftali Bennett admit that they have nuclear capabilities? Let's play this clip of him just constantly deflecting from the answer when Piers Morgan presses him about Israel's nuclear capabilities.
So I've asked Benjamin Netanyahu multiple times, has Israel got nuclear weapons? And he just doesn't answer. I mean, you're a former prime minister of the country, so let me ask you, does Israel have nuclear weapons?
Israel has always been clear that we're not going to be the first ones to introduce nuclear weapons to the region. But I want to be also very clear, Israel never had, and never will have any intent on destroying other countries. It's really simple. If Iran, if Hezbollah, if Hamas decide to stop wanting to destroy our country, there will be no wars. We never want any war. All we're doing is trying to prevent others from destroying us. It's really that simple.
And Piers continues to press him about their nuclear capabilities. And Naftali Bennett just totally deflects the whole entire time. So if we're just being honest, why can't Israel admit that they have nuclear weapons? We're accusing Iran of having them, or having 60% enriched uranium, which you need 90% enrichment when it comes to uranium for a nuclear weapon, allegedly. I'm not a nuclear physicist. So this seems to me like a total quagmire, and we're getting fed so much bullcrap that our eyes are turning brown. And I already have brown eyes, so they're getting even that much more brown. I just want to know the truth. We already went through an embarrassment of a war on terror in the Middle East. We lost countless of American soldiers and trillions of dollars. All for what? The country's not necessarily safer. If you ask Marco Rubio and Donald Trump, it sounds like we're under imminent threat. But was that threat real? Was that threat possible? Could their weapons fly to New York City? No, they can't. So you know who is under threat? Israel. And I understand they're our ally, but they shouldn't get to bully us into starting a war that is universally disliked by the American people that voted for Donald Trump because he told us no new wars. So I'm not trying to be, a downer. I'm not a Debbie Downer. I'm not anti-Trump, but I am anti-war, especially when we're fighting a war for a country that doesn't care about our soldiers dying as much as they care about their soldiers dying. That's just the harsh reality of the situation that we're currently facing. So coming up next, we're going to play some clips talking about the financial repercussions that America is facing because we are spending millions of dollars just to shoot down their drones that cost thousands of dollars. Coming up next.
Welcome to Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Your quick look at the powerful stories of faith and freedom, inspiring audiences across the nation. Angel Studios presents.
I'm Bo Davidson with this Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Most people know the biblical story of David, the shepherd boy who fought Goliath and became king. Well, Angel Studios has created a new animated film called David that tells the story of Israel's greatest king.
Followed when I'm looking for the way, when I'm searching for the answer, in the moments I'm afraid. There's a whisper in the wind and a story in the sky, when I'm looking for a lantern to illuminate the night. If you want the secret of freedom and feeling alive, you gotta follow the light. Follow the light.
For those who love great animated classics like The Lion King and Prince of Egypt, David is an awe-inspiring animated musical that depicts David as a spirited boy who fought lions, giants, and even betrayal, depicting how one boy's faith could lead him to be king of Israel. David will be released in theaters just in time for Christmas on December 19th, but your family can get a head start by watching the prequel to the film, Young David, which is streaming exclusively right now on Angel. It's perfect for the entire family and has memorable music. So once you join the Angel Guild, you can start watching Young David right now and prepare the fam for the David film in theaters in December. And by joining the Guild, you'll guarantee 2 free tickets to see it. And it's a great value. Let's be honest, going to the movies isn't all that cheap. But if you're a member of the Angel Guild, not only do you get those 2 free tickets to David, but you'll now have access to every single film or TV series on Angel at your convenience anytime. So just go to angel.com/Rav and join there.
Hi, my name is Tracy L. from Arizona. I don't stink around in the kitchen when it comes to the news. I watch Real America's Voice, which always serves accurate and reliable updates that are on point with their amazing hosts. So don't find yourself in a pickle by tuning into the fake news. Stick with Real America's Voice.
On page Patriot Mermaid, and I'm from West Haven, Connecticut. When the mainstream media wasn't giving us the truth, I went and looked for the truth and found it on Real America's Voice. Come and join us. Come on.
My name is Phoebe, and I live in Florida. I love Real America's Voice. They truly speak for the people, and that's what real patriotism is all about.
I'm Patriot Mermaid, and I'm from West Haven, Connecticut. When the mainstream media wasn't giving us the truth, I went and looked for the truth and found it on Real America's Voice. Come and join us. Come on.
We live in a military state. We have the ICE, Department of Homeland Security, going and trying to deport illegal immigrants. But what's funny is that kind of didn't really work out, and it was a horrible PR disaster, and now we've gotten Department of Homeland Security out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. So if we can't take over Minneapolis, how are we going to take over Tehran, Iran? I mean, it kind of makes you think, is America the superpower that we pretend to be? And yes, I do think America is the greatest country on earth. But if we're fighting an enemy that can use substantially less resources and money than us, and we're bankrupting the American people that are struggling right now with massive inflation, the new Big Arch burger from McDonald's, the burger alone is $10. That doesn't include the fries and drink. I remember a time you can go to McDonald's and get a $1 double cheeseburger, and it was big and delicious. But those days are long gone. So the American people continue to suffer. We have not gotten any retribution for what happened in 2020. We haven't had Anthony Fauci held accountable for what he did during the pandemic. And we haven't even made one arrest in regards to the Jeffrey Epstein release. But the UK, they went and they arrested their prince. I'm sure he'll get some sweetheart deal and probably won't have to face that harsh of a punishment. But the public embarrassment that he's faced is incalculable compared to any jail sentence, because he has lost and embarrassed everything that he built up his whole entire life. So this is my point when it comes to this. More terror attacks are going to actually happen because we did this, not because we used restraint. And the conspiracy theorists are right again. We had another terror attack in Austin, Texas, as well as a stabbing in Washington, D.C. But this hits really close to home because I was in Austin on Friday night at a comedy show at Bat City Comedy Club. That was right next to this same bar, Buford's, in Austin, where this Northern African legal immigrant, believe it or not, went and killed 3 people. So let's play this clip.
The 53-year-old Senegalese national, who could be seen during the rampage wearing a shirt that read "Property of Allah," may have been motivated by the joint attack by Israel and the U.S. on Iran, law enforcement sources have said, as officials investigate the possible act of terrorism.
Obviously, it's still way too early in the process to determine an exact motivation, but there were indicators that on the subject and in his vehicle that indicate potential nexus to terrorism.
It doesn't take an FBI agent to realize that there's probably going to be more of these style of attacks. And the deep state loves it. They love when a crazy jihadi goes and shoots up a bar, because now they can use that as a reason to limit our ability to have guns. That's right. They can get legislation that's bipartisan, that puts in red flag laws. And, you know, John Cornyn and all of these rhinos like Dan Crenshaw, they love red flags. They would love to limit your ability to have the Second Amendment. They would love to throw it in the trash if they got their choice. So I know that might sound very conspiratorial, but the people that are the puppet masters that are really calling the shots, they want to degrade the Constitution as much as possible. And the Second Amendment is the first thing that they want gone, because that prevents us from actually fighting back against our government. And so it's just very, very, very frustrating, because I don't feel safer after bombing Iran. I feel less safe. And that was the opposite of the intended effect of even starting this war with Iran. Because there is no defense to a suicide bomber, a suicide shooter. These people are willing to die for their cause. You think the American people are brainwashed? Not as brainwashed as these people. And that is scary to me, that they have 36 million illegal immigrants, some legal, right here in the United States, that are being radicalized by Twitter and Instagram and Facebook because they're seeing clips of their home country get bombed. It's not going to decrease the amount of attacks. It's going to increase it. Now, I want to play this clip. This is the shooter leaving his apartment, and it's just so creepy. Just looking at him, he's about to go murder these young college kids. So one of them was a double major, a really talented student that had a job lined up. It's just such a sad waste of a great future. And it was all taken away indirectly by starting this war in Iran. So let's play this clip. Just nonchalantly leaving his apartment, even locked it, made sure to lock it. Although his mind was set that he's going to go do a terror attack and shoot random people on the most popular street in all of the state of Texas, 6th Street in Austin, where he knew that there was going to be a bunch of vulnerable kids having fun, drinking, partying with their friends. So this is a spooky and scary reality that America is less safe today than it was before we started the war with Iran. Whether you want to admit that or not, you're brainwashed. All right, guys, coming up next, the Burger King CEO totally mogged the McDonald's CEO. He Burger Maxed him, and it was beautiful. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Coming up next.
Welcome to Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Your quick look at the powerful stories of faith and freedom, inspiring audiences across the nation. Angel Studios presents.
I'm Bo Davidson with this Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Most people know the biblical story of David, the shepherd boy who fought Goliath and became king. Well, Angel Studios has created a new animated film called David that tells the story of Israel's greatest king.
There's a light I've always followed when I'm looking for the way, when I'm searching for the answer. In the moments I'm afraid, there's a whisper in the wind and a story in the sky. When I'm looking for a lantern to illuminate the night. If you want the secret of freedom and feeling alive, you gotta follow the light. Follow the light.
For those who love great animated classics like The Lion King and Prince of Egypt, David is an awe-inspiring animated musical that depicts David as a spirited boy who fought lions, giants, and even betrayal, depicting how one boy's faith could lead him to be king of Israel. David will be released in theaters just in time for Christmas on December 19th, but your family can get a head start by watching the prequel to the film, Young David, which is streaming exclusively right now on Angel. It's perfect for the entire family and has memorable music. So once you join the Angel Guild, you can start watching Young David right now and prepare the fam for the David film in theaters in December. And by joining the Guild, you'll guarantee 2 free tickets to see it. And it's a great value. Let's be honest, going to the movies isn't all that cheap. But if you're a member of the Angel Guild, not only do you get those 2 free tickets to David, but you'll now have access to every single film or TV series on Angel at your convenience anytime. So just go to angel.com/Rav and join there.
Hi, my name is Tracy L. from Arizona. I don't stink around in the kitchen when it comes to the news. I watch Real America's Voice, which always serves accurate and reliable updates that are on point with their amazing hosts. So don't find yourself in a pickle by tuning into the fake news. Stick with Real America's Voice.
I'm Patriot Mermaid, and I'm from West Haven, Connecticut. When the mainstream media wasn't giving us the truth, I went and looked for the truth and found it on Real America's Voice. Come and join us. Come on.
My name is Phoebe, and I live in Florida. I love Real America's Voice.
Guys, I really appreciate you all watching tonight. You're watching After Hours with Alex Stein on Real America's Voice. Now, we got to talk about something that is the most pressing issue to Americans. is that the CEO of Burger King recently had a burger mog-off with the CEO of McDonald's. And we played the clip earlier last night where the CEO of McDonald's took the most tepid bite of their brand new burger, the Big Arch. But guess what? The Burger King CEO, he had to have a response. But I guess the real loser in all of this is the American people. Because these burgers were supposed to be cheap and easy, where you can take your whole family and feed them for just a few bucks. But not anymore. Now that these companies are being ran by people that won't even eat their burgers or even look happy while they eat their burgers, it shows you that they don't care about the American people. They don't care for their actual customers. Because the CEO of McDonald's, who I believe makes about $15 million a year, probably doesn't eat at McDonald's. He's eating, 5-star chef-prepared meals, and they are a lot different than a McDouble and some fries. So I want to play this clip of the CEO of Burger King basically having a burger off and burger maxing. But in reality, I mean, I eat at Burger King, and I don't need to take a picture of it. I eat it because I'm a dog. I'm hungry. This guy is doing it to prove a point. So I guess I don't really like it that these CEOs are just so out of touch. This is how they compete with each other. Instead of finding a burger that has great value and great taste and that can feed Americans, they would rather have some sort of burger mog-off. It's insane. I can't believe I'm even saying that word. Let's play this clip.
Not bad, right?
Only one thing missing. A napkin.
I took a big bite of a hamburger. Ooh, look at me. I'm so good. I won. That is retarded. That pisses me off. I go to Burger King all the time. I eat the cheesy tots. I eat the jalapeno nuggets or whatever they're called. I eat the French fries. I love Burger King, and I love McDonald's. And I like Arby's, and I like Sonic, and I like In-N-Out. I like them all because I grew up eating this food. And yes, there might be some human meat in there. And yes, it's not necessarily healthy. And I probably should stop eating fast food so much. But that's another argument for another episode. I don't think it's funny that they think it's a big deal that they're having a bite of the burgers that they are in charge of making. I think it seems to me like they're laughing in our face. Oh, I wouldn't eat this crap. Let me take a big bite. I won the burger mog-off. These are the people that are running these companies. We need fat people that are in charge of McDonald's and Burger King. I don't like either of these guys. And you know what? Believe it or not, let's put some black people in charge. They love fast food. And that's not racist, me saying I want black people. If we had DEI for anything, hire some black people to run McDonald's. I guarantee you the prices will go down. Yes, there might be some horse meat in the burger, but if that makes them cheaper and they taste the same, nobody's going to give a damn. Because that's what the American people want. They want something hot, fast, cheap, and easy, kind of like your mom. No disrespect. I don't mean to be disrespectful about your mom. But my point is this. This is what they think of us. They think it's a big deal to have a bite of a burger because these are multimillionaires that are out of touch with the customers that they should respect, but they don't respect us. And that's just a cold, hard fact. I hate to say it, but it's not a big deal. This shouldn't be viral that you took a bite of a Whopper. There's some construction worker right now eating a Whopper, and he's not going to go viral for it. Hell, he goes home, his wife cooks him dinner, it tastes like crap. He needs the Burger King burger because that's the only time that he can actually go across the country and know that he's going to get a delicious meal. And a lot of people ask Donald Trump, why do you eat McDonald's so much? And he says, because he knows that if he goes to McDonald's, it's going to taste the same at every single McDonald's and he doesn't have to worry about getting sick. So there are reasons where these elite rich people will eat there. And Donald Trump's not scared to bite into a big arch, but these CEOs are. So, yes, I don't agree with starting the war in Iran, but God bless Donald Trump for being a real American and not afraid to eat a hamburger, the whole entire thing, and he eats filet of fish, and he eats the fries, and I believe he also eats the nuggets, but that's great. That's awesome. He's a hungry man. He's busy. He, builds up an appetite, starting wars. I'm sure that is, appetite building. Why we're also trying to regime build. I mean, nothing goes better with a new Ayatollah than a milkshake and some fries and a big arch from McDonald's. That's just the truth. All right, now I want to get to this clip because we've talked a lot about the war, and you know my opinion now. Don't love it. Don't love it, obviously. But the reason why I don't necessarily love it is because the people in Tel Aviv and all over the country of Israel are now going to be more susceptible to a terror attack. But it seems like, even though this is a video from last year, it seems like they kind of like being in the bunkers. So is Israel doing this so that they can be forced to be in bunkers and gay guys can meet other gay guys because they're stuck down in a hole, worried about dying? And everybody knows, like, if you're on a crashing plane, the last thing you might want to do is have sex. So maybe if you're about to get bombed, maybe the last thing you want to do is have sex. So maybe people are more vulnerable and more horny. I don't know. But just to see the joy and happiness on this guy's face because he's in a bunker with a bunch of gay men kind of makes me sick. Let's play it.
When you're a power gay in Rehovot, you get a special tour of the bombed out buildings of the missile attack last night with your sexy IDF soldier friend. What's your name? Stop. We know. Stav Cohen, IDF's finest. As we walk among the ruins and the broken glass of last night's missile attack, what do you think, Stav? Are you scared?
No, sir.
No, sir. Until then, we'll be safe and sound in our bomb shelters with our sexy IDF soldiers protecting us in this ever so holy Jewish nation.
That makes me want to puke. He's happy that he gets to go and have anal sex all night while bombs blow up right over his head. And then I want to play this clip of one of the victims describing the terror attack in Austin.
I heard about a dozen, probably a few dozen shots ring out. Couldn't really even pinpoint where they were coming from. And honestly, we couldn't even comprehend they were shots. There were probably 15, 20 people in this food truck and no one was panicking, screaming and running. People thought maybe it's fireworks or maybe it's like a motorcycle.
Oh my God!
Now, do you see the hypocrisy? Do you see the juxtaposition of one guy in Tel Aviv happy that they're getting bombed so he can go have anal sex with a bunch of IDF soldiers, while a young kid looks scared to death, recounting the story of how he saw a terrorist go into a popular bar in Austin and just start randomly shooting people and killing 3 of them? So because these people in Israel would get to laugh and do anal in the bunker, sadly, a direct result of that will be more terror attacks on American soil. Right in my backyard of Austin, Texas. So, listen, you and your boyfriend want to go in a bunker and, get the lube out and do it all night long. Go ahead. But we shouldn't be radicalizing a nation of people that have been immigrating here for the past 4 years under a Biden administration that let them do it. Because there are going to be more people that have national pride for the country that they left after seeing it get attacked by American soldiers. So there are repercussions for our actions. We don't live in a vacuum. You piss somebody off, somebody might feel some sort of way about it, and they might come and retaliate. So I'm happy that there's some people that enjoy this, but I don't enjoy it whatsoever. I don't enjoy living in fear of a terror attack in Dallas or Austin or anywhere in America. So we really need to pump the brakes, and Iran is a totally different beast than Iraq. And on top of that, we actually funded Saddam Hussein to fight Iran years ago, and that war took 8 years. So we know that Iran is a capable opponent that is not going to just roll over and die. So I'm frustrated because now America is once again being put on the back burner with foreign countries' interests right to the top. That's what we're going to focus on. They're going to push all of those foreign interests and say those are more important than all of the struggles that the American people are currently facing. That's what our elected politicians think of us. They think we're stupid. Well, don't be stupid. Don't let the propaganda brainwash you. And we need to be vigilant, because I guarantee you there are going to be more terror attacks like this. So if you got a gun, I'd carry it, because you never know who's going to come up there and just try to suicide shoot you or suicide bomb you. All right, guys, before we go, I do want to say this. Go on Amazon.com and go order some Soldier Fuel right now. It's delicious. It's strong, 0 sugar, I think it has 5 calories, I believe. But the stuff is good. No sugar. It's not going to raise your insulin levels. You can drink this all day long if you're on a diet trying to lose weight and you need some energy. Trust me, I've been drinking it all night. I haven't slept in 2 days. This stuff is strong. It's what we've been giving our soldiers in Iran. So, Iran, watch out. We're giving more free soldier fuel to our troops. And you don't want a troop that is high on soldier fuel. That is an opponent that you cannot beat. All right, guys, thank you for watching After Hours with Alex Stein. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Welcome to Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Your quick look at the powerful stories of faith and freedom, inspiring audiences across the nation. Angel Studios presents.
I'm Bo Davidson with this Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Most people know the biblical story of David, the shepherd boy who fought Goliath and became king. Well, Angel Studios has created a new animated film called David that tells the story of Israel's greatest king.
There's a light I've always followed when I'm looking for the way, when I'm searching for the answer, in the moments I'm afraid. There's a whisper in the wind, and a story in the sky, when I'm looking for a lantern to illuminate the night. If you want the secret of freedom and feeling alive,